Wars follows a crack squad from the Thames Valley Police. With state-of-the-art technology and high-performance cars, the proactive team take the fight against crime onto the streets. They make life hell for the dealers, thieves and druggies on their patch. We also meet the forced dog handlers, experts in public order, tracking and searches. Coming up tonight, daylight robbery.
Hands on your head, hands on your head.
Stop.
Get on the floor.
Nighttime drinking.
Playing silly fuckers with my accent. Leave me alone.
And soggy coppers.
Oh.
Anything can happen policing the streets, and in Road Wars the unexpected is always just around the corner. Simon Hills and Conrad Lee, call sign Tango Victor 31, are on patrol near Slough. There's been a spate of robberies in the area, and there's another one coming through on the radio.
Bus has been rammed into the trees. Offender's still on the bus.
A bus driver is under attack. He's calling from just round the corner, so Conrad puts his foot down.
This bus has been robbed. This bus here is being robbed. There he is.
As they arrive, the bloke's running from the scene.
Okay. Hands on your head, hands on your head.
Stop.
Get on the floor.
You beat me up, though.
Get on the floor.
Beat me up.
You're under arrest for suspicion of robbery. Don't stand.
Stop. I stopped by beating me up, sir. Sir, beat me up.
Tango Victor, we're an army one of us.
I'm sorry I run, sir.
Stand up.
Beat me up.
Stand up.
I said I'm sorry I run, but beat me up, sir.
Let's search him. You. Once you're happy, you've got him secured, I'll go and speak to the bus.
Oh, sir, ask the people on the bus, they run me over on my bike.
Sit in there.
Sir, can you just loosen a bit?
Sit in the car.
The arrested man whines that he hasn't done anything.
You need to hit me over
Listen
on the bike.
to me. At the moment, we've been listen to me. At the moment, we've been told you've been involved in a robbery on that bus.
Robbery?
Listen, you're under arrest on suspicion of that until we find out full evidence, okay?
Go and ask.
Over at the bus, Simon speaks to the shocked driver.
Hello, fella. You the bus driver?
Yeah.
What's he done, mate?
He ran away from there. He showed me his finger, right? I didn't do anything. I didn't even say nothing to him.
Right, okay.
Because I couldn't really done anything. He was on the bike. And all of a sudden, when I got here, I was, everyone was getting off. Two of them, they jumped in. They tried to open this door.
Right.
It doesn't open from the outside.
Only opens from the inside.
He smashed the mirror and that one.
Right.
He smashed that one.
Right.
The bus is certainly smashed up.
He did put his hand in, or it might be.
Right, so
he's tried to steal this money because it was open. I'm not sure.
Okay, so that's probably going to be more like it, isn't he? He's tried to. Do you know him?
No, I don't know.
You don't know
him? Because he was threatening me. Oh, I know your face.
Obviously, we've got a gentleman in the car.
That's the one.
That's the one, is it?
And
now, what I'm going to need you to do, if you don't mind, is just wait here for a moment.
Right.
We've got another unit coming down to get some details from you so that obviously we can get you squared away and sorted out, all right?
No problem.
Well, we were only round the corner when the job came in.
Yeah, very good job.
There you go, you see?
Done.
We aim to please.
Yeah.
Right, if you stay here then, fella, somebody will be with you very, very soon, all right? And 3-1 further to Sierra X-ray. At the very least, we've got an attempted robbery. And if it transpires not to be that, it's certainly going to be some sort of criminal damage, but it's an attempted robbery from what I can ascertain of it.
Usually getting suspects back to the nick calms them down. But this fella is really ready to go into one.
Am I going to run?
Hey?
Am I gonna run?
What's the matter with you now?
Don't take your hands off me, innit? I don't like it when you touch me. Don't touch me, man. You touch your little girlfriend over there. Stop touching me. Stand behind me or something. Just let go of me, innit? I don't like it when you touch me.
I don't want to stand behind you.
You're being racist to me, so stop touching me. So let go of me. What are you touching me for?
Sit down. Sit down. Don't be stupid.
Did this make you a man?
Does it make you a man?
Why are you touching me then?
Does it make you
Where
a man?
am I going? Why are you touching me?
Nowhere. Sit down.
I don't need to sit. I don't want to fucking sit down. I don't want to sit down.
Well, you'll stay there until you calm down then.
Where am I going? Let go of me, man. You fucking...
Nowhere. You're not going anywhere, so calm down.
So let go of me then, innit?
Calm down then.
Take your hands off me.
Calm
Take
down.
your fucking hands off me.
Not till you calm down, no.
What's gonna happen? I'm in fucking handcuffs and locking. Take your hands off me, man.
Just calm down.
So let the fuck go of me, innit?
Well, calm down then.
Stand there then, innit?
Well, you stand there then.
Take your hands off me.
You going to calm down?
Take your hands off me.
Calming down?
Take your hands off me.
Are you calming down?
How the fuck can I calm down when a big fucking gorilla's holding me?
Are you calming down?
Do you honestly need to touch me? Let go of me then, innit?
Calm down.
Where am I going? I'm in handcuffs locked in the room.
You're not going anywhere.
Let go of me then, innit?
You're not going anywhere, so just
take
calm
your hands
down.
off me then.
Calm
I don't want
down.
you to touch me.
I don't particularly want to touch you until
Then
you
take your hands
calm
off me then.
down.
Where am I going? Lock the fucking door. Let go of me then, innit?
Calm down.
Skipper says if we're happy with what he's got in his pockets, we'll just lock the door on him and leave him to have his pack.
It's simple as, innit?
Huh?
Take your hands off me. Fucking quick.
Idiot.
Basically what's happened is we've received a report that a bus is being robbed in Britwell in Slough. Amazingly, we were just round the corner. It very rarely happens like that. We were literally 20 seconds away. When we've arrived, we've seen the bus at a strange angle across the road, and the young chap we've got in custody now was running away, or sort of walking away quickly. We've approached him, at which point he's run off, and not being Linford Christ anymore, I wasn't able to catch him, but Conrad came screaming up behind him with a ton of Vauxhall, and that did the trick, made him give up. He's been gobby throughout, but from what we can ascertain from the bus driver, it's a genuine robbery attempt. He's put a lot of windows in on the bus, and he's tried to have the cash away from what we can ascertain. So we've brought him back here now. He's still a bit anti, but we'll let CID get to the bottom of it.
When he finally calmed down, this badass busboy was formally interviewed and later charged with a fray. This ambulance isn't rushing to a 999 call, it is the 999 call. Some cheeky scampers nicked it and put his foot down. So now, instead of a police escort, he's got a cop car in hot pursuit. The ambulance was on a call, parked outside a sick person's house near Middlesbrough, when the thief nicked it. And he doesn't even have a driving licence. The bloke certainly knows how to fling his ambulance round corners. Maybe he should get a job driving one when he gets his licence back for this. Good thing there isn't a patient inside. With 30 grand of damage caused, the thief finally gives up, but without his NHS chariot, he didn't get far. The cops nicked him, and in court he got 3 years in a young offenders institution for the robbery and breaching his ASBO. But even when the rightful owners are behind the wheel, emergency vehicles still run into problems. Recent floods have left this road in Chesterfield impassable, but the boys in blue still give it a go. Water, idiot, the driver must feel now his mates have all got soggy trousers. The only emergency vehicle these officers want to see now is a lifeboat. It's just after midnight in Maidenhead town centre, and Thames Valley dog handler Helen Lacey has been called into a car crash.
There's been an accident, an off-road traffic collision in Maidenhead. from what the reports are, is that they crashed into a roundabout, so we're making towards there just in case the driver runs off, because we believe they might be drunk in charge of that vehicle. How you doing, Ben? All right?
Yeah, I think she's quite intoxicated.
I think she probably is.
We've tried pushing the car out, but it's
Right.
jammed in between two posts, so we're just going to get fire down to come and have a
Try and cut the posts
try and
away.
cut the posts out.
Right. I just think she's done a spectacular job there of pinning herself into the car.
Yeah, she's done a great job.
Yeah. Just going to have a look. She can't have a fag. No, but you'll get a ball of flames.
As Helen goes to check the scene, the drunken woman decides it's time for a post-traumatic cigarette.
Stop trying to light up with it.
But a wrecked car could be surrounded by leaking petrol.
I'll tell you what, give us that lighter. Don't bother doing that, because that won't work. Come here. Come here. Right, I'm not playing silly buggers with you, my handsome. Yeah.
Leave me alone. I'm not asking you to help me, am I?
I'm not...
Leave me alone.
Let go.
Leave me alone.
Let go of that lighter.
Leave me alone. I need a cigarette.
You're
I'm
not-
in shock. I'm in shock, you stupid woman. Don't you understand?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, I've got another one.
Yeah, well, I'll take that one off you as well, won't I? Oh, not the cigarette lighter. I'll tell you what, you get that out and I will wrestle that off you as well.
With that cough, this lady needs a break from the fags. The fire brigade have turned up to cut the driver free
She's up to something or
and maybe extinguish any more hidden ciggies.
Well, the lady is definitely intoxicated. If you go into the car, you can actually smell the booze. And she says she's in shock and wants a cigarette. And we've had to wrestle several cigarette lighters off her. Because obviously, clearly, with the car being the way it is, we don't know if there's leaking fuel and so on. And she could present a danger. We also don't know if she's hurt herself, to be honest. Fire brigade are just going to cut her out now. And then the paramedics will check her over. And then we'll do our bit after that. But
So the woman's definitely in trouble. But at least she hit the gap.
quite bizarre how someone in such an intoxicated state could do such a good shot, really.
It's usually the cops who dig around at a crime scene, but this time it's the fire brigade.
Can't be anybody else. Oh, look at that. Well done, lads.
With the road sign shifted, the driver can be carefully removed from a mullered motor.
Yes.
Since the mid-90s, there's been a huge increase in women convicted of drink driving, whilst the number of blokes has dropped slightly.
So they're finally getting her out of the vehicle and they're going to take her off to Wexham Park Hospital. She's complaining of neck pain, which seems to have come on quite rapidly, as she wanted a cigarette 2 minutes ago, and now she's got this terrible neck pain, so I don't know whether that's maybe a ploy to take us along so she can get her sober up. But once she's in hospital, then we'll complete what's called a hospital procedure in relation to drink drive, and we'll go from there, really, and she can also get herself checked out, because the bottom line is that she's okay. The rest of it we can deal with as and when.
The woman refused to give any sort of sample and was prosecuted for failing to provide, which carries the same penalty as drink driving. Still to come on Road Wars.
Get out!
Prisoners on the run.
Listen, follow our instructions and nothing will happen to you, okay? Just follow the instructions.
Ramming the raiders. And puff on this.
It's certainly the biggest cannabis cultivation area that I've seen since I've been working the place. Well worth the effort.
Coming up in part 2, drug dopes.
The supply controlled substance, all right? OK with that?
No, I'm not okay with it because...
I know you're not OK with it, but you understand what I've said to you.
Bit hop.
Hopping mad.
Come on, hop.
Fuck yeah.
And flooring it.
Polytunnels and outbuildings. We do not know what we're going to find. Firstly in the house where the TFG and the other IRUs sit.
Early morning in Gerrard's Cross. and a major bust is about to go down.
3 officers, including a dog, going to go to the far end of the polytunnels.
Intelligence teams have identified a massive outdoor cannabis farm nearby, and Sergeant John Kendall and the proactive team have been called in to help smash the drugs operation.
Single file crosswards and move through the cannabis plants, which we believe are 5 to 6 foot tall.
They don't know how much resistance they'll meet, so they're getting armoured up.
Through the polytunnels to the other end.
And we're about to leave the site here, having had a briefing to go and execute a warrant under the Misuse of Drugs Act. Hopefully when we get to the site, we're going to find a large cannabis factory, and we'll secure the premises, get ourselves in there and detain any people that are there. It literally is take it as we find it when we get there, because the information we have is certainly limited.
At the farm, officers have spotted a vehicle leaving the site.
All units from Silver, convoy to proceed to target premises.
That's not what the officers on the ground wanted to hear. It means they'll have to strike right now before the choppers arrive. With the targets leaving, the cops dive in. Off camera, the police nick one man from the car, but the second bloke's done a runner. The cops try and double back to cut off the runaway's escape route. The choppers arrive, but the suspect's had time to make his escape.
Yeah, nice. So what description have we got, please?
He could be anywhere on the farm, and JK's team head for the cannabis plantation.
I'll take the far corner.
Try and walk around the outside.
Steve, you're halfway down. We're in the far corner. We arrived at the premises, and there was one vehicle here when we got here. 2 males or 2 people made off from that vehicle. One was caught within a few seconds. The other one's made off on foot into the woods. At the moment, we've got a dog tracking. We're now going to walk through and just make sure there's no people in here and coming down in the plantation. As you can see, there's definitely a cannabis factory here with a greenhouse.
They have to search each road thoroughly in case the crop's concealing their man.
Watch out for any wires.
Drug barons are targeting the southeast with cultivation farms like this. 2 years ago, Thames Valley Police busted 42 cannabis factories. Last year, the figure had leapt to 123. This one's well hidden by the trees and netting, even though it's only a few miles from Slough. No one's here, but there's acres to cover.
What we're going to do now is to go up and search the outbuildings which are next to the premises and to see if we can find anybody in there or to see what the premises are being used for.
Despite the huge manhunt, the suspect has escaped. But at least they know the runaway's shoe size, as he lost his trainers as he legged it.
We've found 2 of them now. So he's running barefoot somewhere? Yeah.
And another thing the drug farmers have lost is their wheels, namely this rather fancy BMW X5, costing upwards of 40 grand. Back at a farmhouse which the pair are renting, there's all the evidence of serious cultivation. This is where they dried out their green.
We're really pleased with the result today. We executed the warrant at the farm. We've actually got 2 cars back that we've seized that belong to the people that we believe are involved in the cultivation of cannabis. It's certainly the biggest cannabis cultivation area that I've seen since I've been working in the police. Hopefully the 2 cars will lead us back to the people that are involved in the cultivation, although one person has got away. But generally a really good day, well worth the effort, and some really good intelligence.
Busting this cannabis farm closed down a massive drug operation with an illegal turnover of more than £1 million a year. One man was nicked on the site, and even the bloke who hopped it was captured the next day. But for the cops, this wasn't the end of it. Cops in Jackson, Georgia think the car in front is stolen. But before they can speak to the driver, he floors it. Thieves will often go to great lengths to escape the law, but they usually don't go far enough to escape the attentions of the no-nonsense cop giving chase. The cop car's getting set for a pit manoeuvre, short for parallel immobilisation technique. Out on the streets, it's simply known as the fishtail. Wipeout. Not all American police forces use the pit manoeuvre as it's so risky. The bandit car should spin 180 degrees, but officers can never be certain just where the nudged car will end up. This one might have gone further if it hadn't hit the central barrier. A second police car moves in to make an arrest if the robber is still in one piece. The thieves didn't get away with the stolen car, but the owner might not want it back in this state. Mid-morning in Aylesbury, and two new members of the proactive team, Anna McShane and Tony Griffiths, are starting their shift. Aylesbury Nick is being redeveloped, and these portable cabins are where the man nicked at the cannabis farm is being held.
Oh, look down there.
But before Anna and Griff can get far, an urgent call comes in. The dealer from the drugs bust has just escaped from custody.
Where's he gone? Have a look down there. A escaped prisoner. Somebody's escaped from the police station. They say they believe he's just been up here. I've no idea.
It seems the bloke barged through the door of the temporary building and ran for it.
Can we have a description there?
The last thing the cops want is a prisoner loose on the streets of Aylesbury, so all available units are called in to sweep the area.
There's an officer down there. There he is. Okay. Let's go and see if they need some help.
Two local officers have cornered the dealer in a cul-de-sac and put him in their car, but he's not coming quietly.
Do you mind?
Get down, get out!
Get down!
Get out!
Get out! Right. Go. Right. Listen, in our car, leg restraints, okay? Just keep your head down. Listen, follow our instructions. Listen, follow our instructions, and nothing will happen to you. Relax and lay down.
All I tried to do was move to get comfortable.
Right down.
That's all I tried to do.
Can we have the transit van? The DP is playing up a little bit.
No,
We've restrained him.
They're taking no chance this time. The runaway's having his legs bound up.
Transit for transport. We're just going to stay here until the transit van arrives, okay? You're just going to lay nice and still and not put any... Don't move at all. Don't move at all. We are going to keep control of you. Right, listen.
I'm not struggling.
Okay.
I'm not doing
just
anything.
Relax.
All I want to do.
We are not on you.
Breathe.
We're not on you at all.
Well, you're pushing my head and my neck down, which is pushing my chest.
You're all right.
I can't
you are okay.
breathe.
Stop. Do not
what
move.
Do you mean?
Do not.
You're trying.
We don't want your arms.
No, but
put your arms in front.
Breathe.
You will breathe.
You'll
be okay.
I can't put my arms anywhere. My wrist is nearly broken. I just can't move. I'm not going anywhere.
Just stay
here. Get off my wrist, please!
Stop.
Get off my wrist!
Stop.
Listen, mate, we're putting your hands behind your back, alright? Because I don't trust you with your hands in front no more,
No, but I can't because of my bad wrist.
It'll be loose. It'll be loose. It's going behind your back, alright?
I'm not doing
Listen,
anything.
It's going behind your back.
I'm not... My wrist! Ow! Ow!
It's not just temporary accommodation that fails to hold prisoners. Amazingly, 2 lags a day go on the run from Britain's jails.
Just relax.
Yeah, but you don't have to carry on like
We're
this.
not going to take any risks with you.
Do not push my head down.
Okay, just keep yourself
Because I can't
relaxed.
There's stones and everything underneath my chest. Can't I lie on my side?
No.
I'm not going anywhere, just a little bit to the side.
No, you'll be moving very shortly when the transit arrives. No, just relax.
I'm just trying to breathe, mate.
Relax. Nobody's restricting your breath at all.
Come on, let's
Listen.
Finally, the naughty boys taxi company turn up.
Okay, right, we're going to get you up. Okay, we're going to sit you up. And stand. Okay, right, like a little bunny rabbit. Hop, hop, come on, hop.
He gave it a go, but ultimately he made a terrible hash of his escape attempt. He's gone from Steve McQueen in The Great Escape to Apollon Cassidy in custody.
We'll get the battery in, yeah?
I'll jump in the back as well.
Okay.
Minutes later, he's back in the nick, the last place he wanted to be. And this time when the door slams shut, it stays shut.
take controls of his leg and sit across somebody.
Oh,
Taken off, mate.
Please let go. My wrist. Oh.
Stop resisting! Stop resisting! Stop resisting! Right, you're going to release your legs.
Yeah, I am. I am. I'm
legs.
totally released.
Legs.
Ow.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Ow.
Thank you. They're all in a day's work, eh? Not a bad start to a shift. 5 minutes out. There we go. Let's go get some more.
This pharmaceutical farm boy later pleaded guilty to cultivating cannabis and evading arrest. The second bloke arrested after the cannabis farm bust also pleaded guilty. Michigan, and a motorcycle whizzes past the law at high speed. The rider's asking for trouble, and he's about to get it. It's not a zippy pizza delivery. The bloke's an armed robber making his getaway on a stolen bike. Even red lights don't stop this guy. It's going to take a no-nonsense copper to do that. With his helmet and a cape, he looks a bit like Darth Vader. The cop dives in to rear-end the bike. It seems harsh, but cops in the States have different pursuit rules than in the UK. Now the cop wants to give him a second nudge. That's gotta hurt, but some blokes just don't know when they're beaten. This painful power slide isn't a new type of extreme sport. With the Darth Vader lookalike trapped by a fence, it's time for the copper to use the Force in the shape of his .38 Smith & Wesson. The threat of jail scared this bad boy enough for him to rev it from the law, but now his two-wheeled antics will be added on top of his armed robbery and bike theft charges. Simon Hills and Conrad Lee are highly experienced officers. Vehicle pursuit specialists, they've still got the knack for spotting when a drug deal might be going down. And two lads have caught Simon's attention.
Just spotted two possible drug dealers as we're driving around here, so we're just going to go down and see if we can catch them. Might be nothing, but it just looks very, very odd. He's just chucked something. He's definitely just chucked something. Gentlemen, what are you doing over here then? You just chucked something down here as we pulled up.
Simon takes a look. Seems like there's nothing there.
You got any ID on your tour, mate?
I don't carry it.
No? Nothing at all?
You know the way I live, she's my neighbour.
All right, I'm not going to go and ask a strange lady in the road, am I? I'm asking you, and I.
I'm going to search you, fella, because you don't live around here. You were stood over there, and as I approached, it looked to me like you flicked something in the bushes, either a joint or something like that. I don't know if you were smoking a joint.
Nah, no joint.
No? Okay.
You want to search me?
Yeah, just what I want you to do is keep your hands out your pockets and do exactly as I say. All right? Now I'm going to ask you straight. Have you got anything on you you shouldn't have?
No.
I've asked you to keep your hands out your pockets. Okay. I don't want to have to place you in handcuffs, do I?
All right.
Good man. Is there anything in your pockets? No. Do you smoke cannabis?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm going to lie to you.
When was the last time you smoked some? Apart from about
this morning.
Okay, what about a minute ago?
Nah, no, a minute ago. About 20 minutes ago.
Simon then checks the lad's socks. Good call.
How much cash is in here, mate? How much?
£180. I got my EMA the other day. I'm going to buy some trainers in a little while.
You got your what, sorry?
EMA from college.
What's that then? What's EMA? What's EMA?
It's the money you get for going to college.
I don't know, mate. 10, 20. £180. 180. Just turn towards me. What sort of waistband have you got on these trousers? Just put them round for me so I can see that there's nothing tucked down the front and round the back. 280 quid. Okay, mate, thank you.
With this many notes in his Nikes, the pair are even more suspicious of what's been going on. Conrad makes a second search of the area to see if any drugs have been dumped. His digging around in the bushes finally comes up with something. He's found some greenery, the illegal sort, hidden in a small bag.
At this moment in time, you're under arrest.
Possession of controlled substance, intent to supply. So you're also under arrest. Possession of controlled substance with intent to supply. Of course, you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you fail to mention now something which you later on in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Turn and face me, please.
Your arrest is necessary to ascertain a prompt and effective investigation of this offence, and also for us to obtain evidence by questioning. Okay. You just come and step over here then, fella.
Do you understand why you've been arrested? You've been arrested with intent to supply controlled substance, all right? Okay with that?
No, I'm not okay with it because...
Well, I know you're not okay with it, but you understand what I've said to you, yeah?
Local officers have turned up to get the suspects back to the nick.
As we come around the corner, Simon saw one of these two chaps chuck something into the bushes. Went down and had a quick look, and hidden amongst all the wet and gungy material that's in there is a dry piece of black bin liner. And inside that, I believe, is to be a Class C controlled drug. I haven't opened it up, but I believe that's what it is. And now I believe that's what this subject over here is thrown onto the floor. And what made it so obvious is the fact that it's completely dry and everything around it is soaking wet, dirty and manky. So that's obviously what he's thrown down as soon as we come in the corner. So that's what we recovered, and that's why they've been arrested.
Nice.
Conrad's waiting till they get back to the station to properly examine what's in the black bag. Nothing's ever certain.
This room, what have you?
With the two blokes banged up, Conrad makes an unexpected discovery.
I'll tell you what, this is crack cocaine.
Have it.
It's crack cocaine, mate.
I bet it isn't. I bet it's cannabis.
No, I'll tell you what, I can feel little rocks. But I don't reckon that's going to be cannabis, it's going to be crack cocaine.
Nice.
There you go.
For me.
That is crack cocaine. Class A. Yeah, I need to arrest mine.
It's now a more serious matter. Conrad needs to update the duty sergeant.
We've now opened it up, and it's not cannabis as we first thought, it is actually crack cocaine, without examining the evidence.
The prisoners both need updates too. They think they're only under arrest for cannabis.
Hello, buddy, you all right? Just let you know that as regards your arrest, you are also now further under arrest on suspicion of conspiracy to supply Class A controlled drug. Do you understand that? Okay? Well done.
We now believe that that's heroin and crack cocaine. So both of those males have now been arrested on suspicion of possession of Class A controlled substance. They're being dealt with by local officers here. They're currently having their houses searched. So now the inquiries start, and we'll see what evidence we've got against both or one of the males. And then obviously charges will be decided by the CPS subsequently once the investigation is finished.
The first bloke was eventually released without charge. But the second bloke's fingerprints were found on the wrapping round the crack, and he was charged with possession with intent to supply. Coming up in part 3, Passion Wagon.
Get your clothes on. Is that not a little bit indecent?
Fireworks.
Who's with the firework? Somebody have a set of balls and all that.
And the Big Bang. Still to come on Road Wars. Young Love.
Get some decency. You're the one with no clothes on in a public place.
Outside of school.
Don't talk to us about decency.
You understand what you mean?
Rocket Men.
Who's been looking for the fireworks tonight then, out you boys? So why come round and ruin other people's peace and quiet when they're trying to sleep?
And Flaming Heck. Midnight, and two more new recruits to the proactive team, Chris Waller and Andy Flipper Burden, are on the lookout for a burglar in a stolen Audi when they spot a group of lads.
Danny boys. Where did this come from?
But sometimes it's the time wasters who make life hard for the cops.
Why are you looking at him, mate? Get his car for us, mate.
Today's youngsters like giving a bit of lip on the street, but Waller and Flipper have a no-nonsense approach to dealing with it.
Don't put your hands on the roof, mate. We're not in America. Lean against the car and face this way. All right, why did you boys walk down this road here then and walk back out again a minute ago? What are you actually up to?
Just sitting around.
Where do you all live?
Down Waterloo Road.
Anybody's got anything on you you shouldn't have at all?
Nope.
What's that birth, mate?
14th of August.
Yep.
08.
You've been stopped by the police before? Have been arrested before?
I've been stopped like this. That's what 20th.
Okay, what about you, mate?
Me?
Yeah.
Been stopped plenty of times. One of them faces.
Well, no, it's your behaviour, isn't it? When we drove past a minute ago, you're walking into the road, and then you come back out as we've gone past. I ask a couple of you what you're doing, and you'll look at each other without speaking, as if to say, well, what do we say? So that's why it's all suspicious, mate, not because of your face.
Yeah, it was.
What's happening, boys? You're going to be searched. You're a long way from home. You've got no real reason to be in this area, okay? You're in a crime area. That's why you're being searched. Got anything sharp on you at all?
Nope.
Nothing at all.
Less keys count.
No, not the sharp keys, mate. You understand why you're being searched yet?
Yep.
Waller isn't finding anything on them, but perhaps there's something nearby.
Yeah, mate.
Just behind them, another officer has found something in the phone box.
I'm using the firework. Somebody have a set of balls and own up to it. You ain't going to get nicked for having it, so just to start putting your hands up and own up to it.
Mine, yeah.
That's obviously one of these three then. They haven't got the bollocks to own up to it, isn't it?
No, it is mine.
That would have made a mess in there.
What you been drinking tonight, mate?
Nothing, basically.
You have, mate, because you smell of alcohol.
Few
all right.
beers.
Right. Listen to me. All right. I weren't born yesterday.
All right.
Okay. You might think it's big and clever to try and dodge the questions and get away with it. Be on the level,
There's
mate.
something
Okay.
against law about drinking beer, is there?
Well, clearly you obviously think there is, mate. If you're having to lie to me, saying you've had nothing to drink. Right. Then be on the level with me. You're only making yourself look stupid.
About 3-4
Right.
cans.
I can smell beer on you. If I say how much you had to drink, you say nothing basically, and you stink of booze. Then quite clear you're lying for a reason, aren't you?
Well, I had beers around about 3-4 hours ago, so...
Right. So you've had a beer.
Yeah.
Right. Easy. And like you
Right,
say,
yeah.
it ain't against the law. So why lie? Who's been looking for the fireworks tonight? Then out you boys. If you boys want to go and look at fireworks, what are you going to do outside your parents' home addresses? Or shall I tell you why? Because they wouldn't stand for it, would they?
Right.
So why come round and ruin other people's peace and quiet when they're trying to sleep?
Selfishness.
Pardon? Selfishness, did you say?
Yeah.
There we go. There's a good answer, isn't there?
And this lad's a real sparkler.
Got anything you shouldn't have at all?
Guns and syringes. Nothing else.
Listen to me very carefully, pal. All right? You may think it's funny, and your little mates to your side may be giggling like schoolboys.
Yeah.
Okay? Get the grin off your face. Okay? Because you've had your first couple of shandies tonight, probably since you had less than life, and you just started to learn to shave and what have you, okay? Don't try and give it big in front of your mates, because all that will happen is that I will win the argument and you'll look that big in front of your mates.
Right.
All right? I've been pleasant to you, haven't I?
Yeah.
Nice as pie to you, so don't start taking the piss out of me to get a laugh out of your mates.
Okay.
Clear enough?
Yeah.
Pathetic, really, aren't you?
The pair have been searching for a stolen Audi.
That'll be our stolen Audi then, Flip.
And that might just have been it.
I would be, mate. Hey, that Audi there, why are we wasting our time with you for? Who could have had the balls of 18 years of age and said, yeah, all right, sorry, this is why we're hanging around. Bring the firework out. Yeah, we know what you're up to. It's not so suspicious. While we're searching you, mate, the car that we're probably looking for tonight has gone past us. Let's just hope that hasn't burgled your houses tonight, okay? Because we're out here for burglars tonight, okay? Who are nicking people's motors, nicking all their property. Sod's law would be you would turn home and find all your stuff gone, isn't it? While we're wasting our time. And prime example tonight, that car's no doubt one of the ones we're looking for, boys, and we're wasting our time with you, aren't we? When all you got to do is hold your hands up and say what you're doing out here. I doubt it's his firework. I expect probably one of you, or all of you, but he's always had the balls to put his hands up to it. It's easy as that, innit? If you're 18 years of age, boys, why ain't you in the pub having a few beers or hanging around with the ladies instead of out here, okay? You boys are old enough to have something better to do, ain't you, than hang around the streets like 12-year-olds. Fair comment. I'm wasting enough time now, boys. See you later.
If anyone else decides to mess around with fireworks, they can rely on Waller to put a rocket up their backsides. Sometimes the police aren't on hand to prevent fireworks and phone boxes from mixing. Knock a door run used to be the game of choice when I was growing up. You rang a doorbell and then you legged it. But these kids in Yorkshire are running away from something with a bit more bang. The old firework in a phone booth trick may keep a few young wrong'uns amused, but it's a serious act of vandalism. And these kids are also keen to try their luck. They're about to make a little part of town look like downtown Baghdad on a bad night. Thankfully, they waited until there was no one in the phone box when they did it. Some people haven't even got the decency to do that. This Bolton shopkeeper is about to experience just how far some people will go to cause a firework nightmare. This kid is wearing a mask to hide his face. He knows what he's doing is completely reckless and illegal. There are 200 rockets in that industrial firework, and hidden from view is the owner's 15-month-old son. Jumping right over the firework is either courageous or crazy. The sparks and explosives could set fire to hair or clothing or scorch the skin, and all because some callous idiot thought it'd be a laugh. Luckily, the brave shop owner managed to kick the explosives out of the door. His son was taken to hospital after inhaling too much smoke. It could have been much worse. Mid-morning in Aylesbury, the ideal time for a spot of 11s, and as Simon and Conrad check a car park, it looks like someone's already getting some.
Get your clothes on.
It seems a couple's getting amorous.
Is it not the middle of the day? Is that not a little bit indecent?
Get some decency. You're the one with no clothes on in a public place.
Outside of school?
Don't talk to us about decency.
11:15 in the morning, outside of school. Please don't lecture me on respect. Let's get some details from you, shall we?
Mr. Loverman's in no mood to whisper sweet nothings.
Identification, please. Driving licence, you've got it, or anything else with your name on? Thank you.
No one likes to be disturbed, and certainly not by two blokes in uniform.
If you continue swearing me, old mate, you're going to get yourself nicked.
Just need to take some details from you, please. Can I take your first name?
What's the engine size on this, mate? 95?
Yeah, 95.
95 what, cc? As in, how big it is? 2 litre? 1800?
1.8.
It's easy, wasn't it?
Conrad needs to check the lady passenger is happy.
Irrespective of what was going on in the car, you know this man?
Yeah.
He's a close friend of yours?
Yeah, okay.
I'm not here to moralise whatever you're doing.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that you're here for your own reasons and that you're not being held here or being forced or coerced to come here.
No.
And you know this chap?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Whatever reasons you have of being here, which are fairly obvious, you have to agree that this time of the morning and the location you are, you haven't exactly chosen the best place, have you? Okay? Right. And the reason for us speaking to the lady in the first instance is A, want to make sure that everything is legal, and B, that she's here of her own volition, i.e. that you haven't forced her to be here. And that was the reason why I needed to speak to the lady, okay? And I've done so at such a time, she's covered herself up and decent, that's why I've waited. But you can understand why our concern, yeah?
Even though these two were trying to enjoy a private moment together, this could technically be considered outraging public decency. It's certainly outraged common sense.
Okay, buddy, thank you.
This little bit of play and display has earned these two a talking to from the cops. Perhaps next time they'll get a room.
He had it in hand.
Well,
I think it was going to go somewhere else, but...
I was going to say, he still had his condom on, didn't he?